This is my 2021 Salsa Stormchaser. It's a 59 centimeter frame. The wheels I have are the Noble CR45, 28 hole. They're 45 mil deep and have a 22 mil inner. They're CX ray spokes with DT350 hubs, and I've got a 36 tooth ratchet. The tires I'm running are a 29 by 22 black chili compound Race King, and they have the Bernstein sidewall. For the drivetrain on this single speed, I have 170 mil SRAM X01 cranks. I have XT pedals, a dub bottom bracket, and the gear ratio I'm running is 40-16, which is really good for the flat gravel around here, or like the race that I'm going to be doing this weekend that's 60 miles and only has about 2,500 feet. So I'll have to grind up some of those hills, but this gear ratio will get me up everything. It's a wolf tooth front chainring, and then I have a Surly 16 tooth rear cog. The fork on this is a 32 taper cast. It has 40 millimeters of travel, and it's got a manual lockout. So most of the time, I'll just run it in the medium setting. It's good if I'm on single track or at race pace or a hard group ride when you can't really see in front of you. But the only time I ever lock it out is on straight pavement, and I'll be completely open if I'm on any single track. The dropper on this is a MVG series. It's got 40 mil of travel, and it's a 27.2 seat post diameter, so I don't need to shim it to fit it into this frame. And my seat post is an Ergon SM Pro, the medium large size. I run this on my mountain bike, and it just fits my sit bones perfectly. They only have red, black, or blue for the accent, so luckily I was able to get the red one for this build. Brakes and rotors. I'm running the TRP Hilux RS brakes. These are flat mount, and I have 160 mil center lock Dior level rotors. I'm also running sintered pads, which can be loud for a gravel application, but when I do go off-road and there's some repeated braking and you're underbiked, I really overwhelmed the organic pads, and that's why I went with the fully sintered pads. The bars and stem. So the bars are a 42 mil wide Zip Service Course SL70, and they have the Supercaz Super Sticky Cush Classic tape. This is a really compliant bar. Technically, I think it's a road bar, and so anytime you're out of your saddle with your weight over the front end, you can really feel everything flexing. It just adds a little bit more compliance to the front end. The stem is just a no-name stem, but it has an arrow faceplate, so the stem bolts are actually on the back towards the rider instead of being out in front. The last thing are the bags. So my top two bag is a Rogue Panda Alamo, and that is in the Revel Red colorway, and it is direct mount to the top tube, which is bed nice. It doesn't flop around like my other Pac Northwest bag that I have on my top tube, my hardtail, and my full suspension. The only thing I wish it had was a pocket on the side so you can put your phone. Now I have to put my phone in my pocket or just leave it in the car because there isn't a way to hold your phone in this top tube bag. And then on the back there, for the spare tube with the CO2 and a tire lever, I have a Silca Matone seat post, and this always is on the bike, and I've never actually had to use it, but I have helped other people out with a tire lever and a CO2 cartridge. So I built this up at the beginning of the year. The gravel that we have around here is pretty flat, so I'm able to keep a zone 2 heart rate at about 14 to 16 mile an hour, and it's a comfortable cadence for me. I am planning to race this at Arcadia Grit and Gravel the middle of May for their new course, the Mighty Grit, 45 miles. And I'm also going to be racing this at Thunder Bay Thriller, which is at the end of August, and they have a 62-mile course, and so I'll be racing in the single speed category for that. I might be racing this in the 19-mile Lord of the Springs for the single speed category, but I might end up just putting gears on or riding my hardtail for Lord of the Springs. That's a week before Margie, and so I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I should probably be tapering by then. And then the end of the year, last race will be Iceman in November. And I don't know if I'm going to be racing Clydesdale or single speed. I could race in either, but I'm probably going to race this exact bike and just change the rear cog to probably an 18 or 19, which should be a little bit harder than 2-to-1.